Hi everyone. Today's topic is etiquette and grooming. It is a soft skills class. What is this etiquette? And later on we'll learn about grooming. What is it all about? Etiquette refers to polite and courteous behavior that is considered acceptable in work or social situation. What does that mean? That means people expect you to be very polite and courteous wherever you are working. Whether you are working somewhere as a professional or you are with people surrounded in a social gathering. So, wherever it is, you have to maintain this courteous behavior in all situations. If you if you behave well and exhibit good manners, then people are likely to remember you in a positive way. There you go. It is the best impression that you can create on people. So make sure that your etiquette is well and nice before all the people whom you are surrounded. Listed below are a few examples of good work etiquette. Be punctual. Everyone likes a punctual person. Greet your colleagues with a smile and a handshake. Remember to be friendly. Sometimes some people greet them but they have a sad face. Or sometimes some people don't even smile when they are wishing. So make sure you have a smile and let the handshake be a nice and a warm one. Keep your workspace neat and tidy. Make sure the table which is there in front of you where your things are kept, make sure it is very neat. Do not invade your colleague's office space without permission. If you have to talk to someone, make sure you ask permission and don't disturb his office space. If he is free, well, go ahead and talk. If he is not free or she is not free, make sure that you don't invade their personal space. Do not speak loudly or disturb others when answering phone calls. Everyone gets a phone call. That doesn't mean you have to disturb others. Make sure you're going aside or somewhere where the disturbance will not be caused. Be honest and fair when trying to resolve issues. Any place, let me tell you, wherever you are working, be it Amazon or be it as a lecturer or be it you are working in a government office, everywhere there will be people and there will be issues and you need to resolve it. Why? Today I was just reading a quotation which said like this, and this quotation was said by Abdul Kalam, or I saw the picture of Abdul Kalam on it, and the quotation read like this: I've seen a pizza, it comes in a different shaped box. Then when I open it, it is in a circular shape, and when I eat it, it is in a triangular shape. In the same way, people are different. So how can I match this example to this etiquette? It is very simple. There will be issues because people's thinkings are different, people's perspective is different, and one person thinks he is correct, whereas the other person who is talking to him, he will think he is correct. So please be honest and fair while trying to resolve issues. Listen to others and try to help them with their problems. So how can I resolve this issue? It is simple. Listen, and then after getting an understanding of what the problem is, then you solve the problem. The problem with the present generation is we don't listen. You know, we rarely find people who listen for a long time. Do not try to avoid responsibilities or shrink duties. I have seen people who became leaders or who were given responsibilities as the in charge. After that, it is only for 2 days all this happiness is. Later on, I find that these people shrink their responsibilities or put these responsibilities on other people. So, please make sure you don't avoid your responsibilities or shrink your duties. Respect other people's feelings. Please, the other person who is in front of you is also a human being. As you are, how you get hurt, equally the other person also gets hurt. So, please respect others' feelings. Do not damage office property. Here, you can put it very simple, do not damage the property where you are working. Well, I think these small tips or suggestions will help you to conduct yourself very properly in your working environment. Let's go on to our next topic, and it is a very interesting topic. It is related to you, to me, to everyone in this world, to the whole human beings, because it is a universal thing, and this universal topic is grooming. What is grooming? Grooming yourself. How? Hygienically, and also inward grooming and also outward grooming. So let us go into this topic. Grooming refers to your cleanliness and how appropriately you dress. It is important how to dress, how you look. Let me tell you, no one goes to a party wearing the normal attire which you wear at house. You go in a very special attire because it's a function you are attending and many people will be looking at you. So dressing is very important. It plays an important role in work environment and with regard to how we interact with people in both social and professional setting. Let me tell you, some people will say I'm a professional at my job, but some people don't know this fact that you should be a professional at your job place and also at your home. You should also be professional with the society. That means as a social person you have to be an interactive person who maintains that dignity in front of that society. Here are some guidelines for being well groomed. Well, this is a colorful picture. Do you see how wonderfully these people are dressed? And their attire is so nice to look at. The first point says here, pay special attention to personal hygiene and cleanliness. Dress in clothes that fit you well and reflect your age and personality. In a working environment, you must take care to dress professionally. Dress neatly in the clothes that are clean and ironed. Well, do you see a picture here? This is a picture of a person who is well dressed for his business that he is doing. You need to dress for your success. Well, let me tell you, dressing shows your personality. I've seen people who have dressed normally and who have dressed in a very nice attire. I think people look very good and beautiful in a nice attire. Next thing, what I have also observed is their hairstyle. I've seen people who don't put their hairs in a proper way, their pictures or their face will not be nice. But if the hair is very nice, their face will look and the picture is beautiful to look at. And also, if you wear a shoes and make sure that the whole attire is complete, then your look is really professional. Imagine you're wearing a suit and then you wear a slippers, it will never match at all. So make sure you're dressing for success, and you will be remembered for your professionalism. The fourth point here says, if you wish to use perfume, use it sparingly so that you don't overwhelm others. Make sure you use that perfume little less so that others would not be in trouble. Sometimes some people wear the perfumes which have so much of fragrance and the room is filled with fragrance. Okay, some people may like that fragrance. I know some people who say, I like the smell of your perfume. But there are also some people who don't like the smell of the perfume. So make sure you're using it sparingly. Try to maintain a good posture by sitting straight and walking confidently. So whether you're sitting, whether you're standing, whether you're walking, walk with confidence. You can also see here again, there are some dressing for success for women. In the last slide, we have seen dressing for success for men. So again, they are saying make sure that your hair is clean and styled, and no loud unnatural colors such as pink, purple or blue. Nowadays I've seen people applying colors to their hair. It has nothing to do with gender. Actually, I've seen the masculine gender wear more colors than the feminine gender. And make sure your clothing is appropriate and your shoes should be correct. If you are wearing heels, make sure that they are not more than 3 inches. And if you are using makeup or accessories, it should be subtle. A simple or natural look is better than makeup. Accessories should complement your outfit and not overpower it. So make sure that these guidelines are followed. If nails are polished, they should be freshly done to avoid chips. No loud colors. Nails without polish are also acceptable. I think better you think what suits you and what complements you rather than trying to impress others. I think these tips would help you a lot, and you would be doing well if you take all these tips and use it in your professional and social life. Well, our next topic is value orientation, and our theme is necessity is the mother of invention, and we will go into this explanation part. What is this necessity is the mother of invention? Well, it is a famous English proverb. What does it mean? It means that when you have to complete a task and you have absolutely no choice but to complete the task, then you will think in radical, new, out of the box ways to attempt to solve your problem. When you are struck from all the sides, there is no other way. Let me give you the example of the current scenario. Once when you tell the students, we will have some online classes and we will tell some digital classes, people were not at all interested. To be frank, they would say so many difficulties will be there in conducting this online classes and no one will be interested. It is best to have this live classes in front of the classroom, sitting in front of the live audience. Well, I am not degrading that live classroom is not nice, but that doesn't mean also that these online classes are also not nice. So when this pandemic has come, everyone cannot move from their places. They have to be in their own places so that the spread of the virus will be stopped. So what did they do? They have thinked out of the box and they started this online classes, webinar, Zoom, Go Meet, Hangout, Google Apps. All these apps are the latest techniques where people can conduct online classes and webinars. So here we go, they are thinking out of the box and they are creating a solution, because from all the sides they are blocked, and they came out with this radical new out of the box teaching methodology, which is online teaching. I myself have conducted web, this online classes for you. So why this has happened? Because we wanted to solve the problem of completing the syllabus in this lockdown. Because of this necessity, you are forced to find a creative solution, or you are creating solution. So what did you do? You created a solution by saying you have to complete the syllabus by this Zoom classes or Google Classrooms or any other medium. That's what OU has told us. That's what the university has told. You need to complete the syllabus by conducting the online classes or any platform, so that we will conduct the examination once this lockdown is lifted up. I think no better example can explain you in this way, because this is the present scenario and situation, and this example suits us very well how to think out of the box. What is this? Necessity is the mother of invention. If we go further into this explanation, it is particularly applicable when working on projects that may seem impossible to complete. Again, let me tell you the example of this pandemic. It is impossible for us to go and meet because public gathering is prohibited. You cannot gather, because if you gather, the spread of the virus will increase and we will not be able to stop this pandemic. So what did they do? As it is impossible to complete the project, which is the syllabus, so what did they do? They applied this thinking out of the box scenario, and they invented this theory of completing the syllabus online. Under such circumstances, necessity can motivate. So this not gathering of people has motivated us of thinking ways in which you can increase your efficiency. Here the efficiency is continuing the college classes, completing the syllabus, conducting the exam. So they want to increase the efficiency without disturbing the rules and regulations, which is not to gather. So without gathering, through online classes, we have increased that efficiency of completing the syllabus, and when the lockdown is not there, then the students can write the exam. Simply, if you must do something, then you will think of it in some or the other way to complete it or to do it. So with this, we come to the completion of syllabus. I thank each and every class representative, all the students, the management, and all the lecturers and principal sister, and everyone who cooperated with me in my family. So I wish you all the best for your exams, and I hope you will do very well. Have a great day.